crochet friends, I'm Tiffany and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a double crochet. A double crochet stitch has a little bit of height to it, so you'll work up your project a lot faster with this stitch versus if you use a single crochet or a half double crochet. Those are a little bit shorter, so I love using double crochets. And I'm going to show you two examples of how to work up double crochets, whether you want a zigzag, bumpy edge or a straight edge. So just grab some medium weight size 4 yarn, a 5.25 millimeter crochet hook. You can use any size yarn, any size hook that matches that yarn. So grab all that and we'll get started. Okay, so we are going to start with the easiest design first. So lay your yarn like this. If you know how to make a slip knot, just go ahead and make it the way that you know how to do that. This is how I make mine. So pinch the bottom with your thumb and pointer and pinch the top with your middle and ring finger. Make sure it's not too tight being pinched there. You want to be able to get under this. Make a heart with your thumb and pointer of your other hand. Go underneath and out the top, so kind of just like under your nails. And then turn just your right hand facing down so that there's an X, and then turn both your hands together. Grab this yarn, hold on to that, and then take your hands apart, and the yarn will start falling off and closing up and turning into your slip knot. And so this would be your tail, and however long this is what you would weave in. So this would be the tail. So if you make it too short, then it can be hard to weave in. So just keep that in mind when you're starting out. Grab your crochet hook, put it through the loop, grab these two strands of yarn and pull on them, and then it will move that knot up towards your hook. And then make sure that you can see through that loop a little bit. You don't want it too tight. Then hold your yarn however you would like. So this is how I hold mine. And then I hold my work, which there's nothing there yet except for the tail. So I hold that with my thumb and pointer. And then I hold my hook like a knife. Okay, so to begin, you're gonna chain any number plus 3. So we're gonna start by chaining 13. That's the width of your project. So this is just going to be a small sample, so we're going to chain 13. So put the crochet hook in front of the yarn, wrap it around the back, and then take that loop through the first loop on your hook. And that's one chain, and we're going to do that 12 more times for this tutorial. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, and take that loop through the first loop on your hook. That's 2 chains. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, and take that loop through the first loop. Now go up to 13 and I will see you there. Okay, so after you have your 13 chains, you're going to go into the 4th chain. So you don't count what's on your hook. That is your first chain. That's your second, third, and your 4th. And you're going to go into that and do your double crochet. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around just like you'd be doing your chains, and then just go under the top loop of that 4th chain. Then you're going to go around the back of that yarn again, take that loop just through the first loop, just like that. Give yourself a little bit of height, like don't work too tight. That'll get better as you crochet more. You have 3 loops on your hook. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, and take that loop just through the first 2. Just like that. And then you have 2 more loops. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, and take that loop through the last 2. Just like that. And we are going to do that in every single chain. So you're going to wrap the yarn around first, then go into the next chain. So that's this one right here. Just go under that top loop. Makes it a lot easier. And then go around the back of the yarn, pull it through just the first loop. Give yourself a little bit of that height so you're not working too tightly. Wrap the yarn around and then go through the first 2 loops. You have 2 more loops, wrap that yarn around, and then go through the next 2. We're going to do that again. So go around the back, wrapping that yarn around first, and then go into the next chain. Go around the back, grab that yarn, pull it through just the first loop. Go around the back, wrap it around, pull that yarn, through the first 2 loops. And then wrap it around and take it through the last 2 loops. And then do that all the way down in every single chain. So I will meet you at the end and show you the next step. And this is what row 1 looks like. So we have 10 double crochets. So if we count all of them, there's 10 here. And then you would have the chain 3s on the end because we went into the 4th chain from the hook. So we have 3 chains on the side. They don't really count as a double crochet for this pattern. They can, you'd have 11 double crochets, but those are just our turning chains for this pattern. That's what row 1 looks like. So to do row 2, which is going to be our repeat pattern, so just do row 2 over and over for your whole project. So we're going to start by chaining 3. So wrap the yarn around, pull through, wrap the yarn around, pull through, wrap the yarn around, pull through. Now you're going to turn this, and we're going to be facing the back now. You're going to find that first space, so it's right above my nail. That's the space that you're going to go into and do your first double crochet. So wrap the yarn around first and then go into that space. You're going to go underneath those top 2 loops of your stitches. So go around the back of the yarn, pull the yarn through that stitch, give yourself some of that height, then wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2 loops, and then wrap the yarn around and pull through the last 2. Just like that. And then you're going to go into your next space. So right above my nail, that's the next space. Wrap the yarn around first, go into the next space, under 2 loops on top, go around the back of that yarn, pull it through your stitch, then wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2 loops, and then wrap the yarn around and pull through the next 2. And you're just going to do that all the way down. So in every single stitch, you should have 10. That's all you're doing, 1 double crochet in all of them. Okay, I am at the end. So if it's hard to keep track to know when your last double crochet is, just keep count. So we have 10 double crochets. This is my 10th one. I know I don't need another. And this is how you're going to get that zigzag look because your chain 3s are going to be farther than your last double crochet. So if you don't want this look, even though this is the easier pattern, then you're going to do the second pattern I show you. So you just repeat row 2. So we're going to do that all over again by chaining 3. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to turn our work. And then you're going to find that first stitch. So it's right above this thumbnail. You're going to do your double crochet. So wrap the yarn around, go into that stitch. Grab the yarn, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through 2. And see how those chain 3s popped out again? They're farther than this. That is how you're getting that look. But it's easier than working into these chain 3s on the end. So that's why this is the easiest way to double crochet. So wrap the yarn around and then go into the next stitch. And do your double crochet. And then you would just do this all the way down and then do that for however many rows that you would like. And then you will end up with this. So now let me show you how to do the straight edge. So this is what we are going to do now. And it's really not that difficult. So go ahead and make your slip knot. I'm not going to walk you through how to do that. I want this video to be as short as it can be. Now for this design, you're going to chain any number that you would like plus 2. So our other pattern was chain any number plus 3. This is chain any number plus 2. So I chained 13 for that pattern. I'm going to chain 12 for this pattern so I can still have my 10 stitches. So again, I'm not going to walk you through how to do the chains. Okay, after you have your 12 chains or whatever chains you would like in the third chain from the hook, so you don't count what's on your hook, that is your first chain, your second, and your third, and do your double crochet in that chain. So wrap the yarn around first, go into the top loop, go around the back, take that yarn just through the first loop, then wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2 loops, and then wrap the yarn around, pull through the next 2 loops. And we're going to do that all the way down except for the last chain. So we're going to do something a little bit different to get our straight edge. So wrap the yarn around, go into the next chain, and do your double crochet. Go behind the yarn, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through the next 2. Now I'm going a little bit faster, so go ahead, go all the way down with your double crochets, saving 1 chain, and I will meet you there. Okay, so I'm at the end and I have 1 chain left, and we are going to do double crochet 2 together in this chain or 2 unfinished double crochets. It's hard to explain like what any of that means if you're a beginner, because sometimes a double crochet 2 together would be you take 2 stitches down to 1 for the next row or round, and that's not really what we're doing, so it's kind of hard to define this stitch. So let's do it. We'll wrap the yarn around first, go into the chain as if we're going to do our double crochet, go around the yarn, pull up a loop, and then wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2 loops, and then we are going to stop there and not finish this double crochet. We're going to do another double crochet in the same chain. So wrap the yarn around, then go into the chain, grab that yarn, pull through the first loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2 loops. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to wrap the yarn around and pull through all 3 of these loops and finish your double crochet. That way you still have 1 stitch on top. Even though you have like 2 double crochets right here, it's still just 1 stitch above it. That way we still have our 10 double crochets, and it's going to shove a little bit more space right here to give you your straight edge. So now for row 2, we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. We're facing this way. We're going to turn our work, and you're going to go into that first space right here, do your first double crochet. So just a normal double crochet. Wrap the yarn around, go into that space, go behind the yarn, pull it through, wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2, then wrap the yarn around, pull through the next 2. Do 9 double crochets right here, so that was 1. Just do 8 more, and I will meet you at the end and show you the next step. So I have my 9 double crochets. Now we're going to do the 2 unfinished double crochets here in the last stitch. So wrap the yarn around first, then go into the last stitch. So under those top 2 loops, go around the back, pull the yarn through the stitch, then wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2, and then you would stop here. You're not finishing it. Do your next double crochet. So wrap the yarn around and go into the same stitch, the same exact space. Wrap the yarn around, pull through, wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2 loops. But now, whoops, all strands of your loops. Now you have your 3 loops here to wrap the yarn around and finish your double crochet. Just like that. So see how it took up space? So they're right above each other now. And that's how you get that straight edge. So let's do it again. Chain 2. And then turn to face the other side. And then right here above my nail is the first stitch. And you're going to do normal double crochets. So wrap the yarn around, go into your first stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through the next 2. And then do that 8 more times till you would get to the end. Now we're going to do our double crochet 2 together, or 2 unfinished double crochets, however you want to look at it. So wrap the yarn around, go into that last stitch, wrap the yarn around, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2, and then you would stop here and then do your next double crochet in the same stitch. So wrap the yarn around, go into the stitch, grab your yarn, pull through, wrap the yarn around, pull through the first 2, and then wrap the yarn around and pull through all 3 of these loops. Just like that, and then it keeps that edge straight. And you just keep repeating it. Chain 2, go all the way down again, and then you're going to get something that looks like this. Either this small, wider than this, longer than this, whatever you want. This is how you get your straight edge. Or you can do the first design and then have something that looks like this. Either way, I hope they're both easy for you to whip up. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and all those good things. It really helps me out. And have fun double crocheting. Bye, crochet friends.